Greetings and salutations, Mr. Going back again. The purpose of this video is to kind of give a breakdown of my newest video that I uploaded to YouTube called Combat V4 Gatling Test. This is going to be the first video in a series of videos that kind of show off all the little weapons and gadgets that I've built into the combat. And if you're watching this video, the chances are that you've probably seen the video I'm talking about. And this is it here. Now, what we're looking at is a bunch of effects thrown into one. It's kind of hard to see in different spots. This is a good shot. It gets all the components. If you see here, the little skull and crossbone guys that fling up whenever he shoots, I like that idea. I used that in a past video, or something similar to it. You see the fume, fire and smoke coming here from the barrels. The tracer rounds. You see the little the spent shell casings flying, being discharged after the shots. And here by the feet is really hard to see, and people don't really notice it. They won't notice it. I noticed it. It took me a while to put together. Is afterburn smoke being kicked up off the ground while he's shooting? Kind of, I don't know, just adding that extra effect. There's a bunch of things that go into this. Of course, we start with the animation. Um, the barrels popping out, being displayed. And as he starts firing, you see that the momentum kicks him back a bit. The afterburn smoke starts up. Then obviously everything comes into play. Um, the face mask, I actually that's just a regular map that it's not actually giving off light. I just turned the self illumination to 100% and added an omni light right in front of the mask, and just so it would give the glow onto the components, by his face. But all right, so I'm gonna take you into Studio Max and open that file up so we can see the behind the scenes of how this stuff works. And we will do that now. Oh, never mind this guy. If things seem to pop up out of nowhere, it's because I have two screens, and I have all the stuff set up on my right screen too. So if you see him just drag in, don't be alarmed by that. Okay, so anyway, what we have here is the base combat V4 model. It's got all those little gadgets and stuff, and whatever. So okay, this is your layers manager. You should become really familiar with this. It really helps you out. I click that, see it pops up on my right screen. That's for a good example. I drag it over here, and we look at the different layers that I've set in. Each one of these, is for a purpose. If I just select all of these, except for the skeleton layer, I can hide them, and you can get the base model. I mean, obviously you can see it's built on just a basic Studio Max biped setup. Uh, and I usually just animate it this way and then bring things in later. So okay, I'm going to hit C on my keyboard, which brings up my camera options. I have 4 cameras in this scene. The one that is you see in the YouTube clip is camera 1. So now it'll follow him around with the camera. Let me show you what that setup looks like. Ooh, I have it under my default, I think. Indeed, I do. My default I usually use for like the scene setup, as in like a ground plane. You can see that this little guy right here is the full combat controller. It grabs everything. Uh, I rarely use that. I mean, you can, but usually it's just good practice for if you're gonna actually rig like with bones and this and that, controllers, stuff like that for custom made characters. Combat's not a custom made character. I made him basically a few years ago, just for the purposes of running tests. Like a rigging test. Maybe if I rigged him like a human and I wanted to drop him off a building, I could figure out all the properties and the goings on behind that with this character. So that's the reason I created him. Okay, but so now what we're looking at is my camera one, and there's still a circle that's hidden. There it is. So the camera's just following a path around the circle using a constraining animation tool. You can find that underneath the animation tab. If I were to, let's say, just grab this skylight here, I went to animation, constraints. You can stick it on path constraint. If you click that, it will give you a line that draws out from the center of the light, and you would just click on the circle, and then the light would follow the circle around. All right, so I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, that's just. And yes, this is my real voice. I've gotten a few comments about that. So anyway, I'm gonna click back. I'm gonna press the C on my keyboard. Brings up my camera options. So okay, now we have the camera back. I'm going to shut off my default layer, and what we can do is, just for example, how layers are really work well. If I pick the LA space G stands for left arm gauntlet, which is just the main part of his arm gauntlet. See all the little holes built in. This is this is where all the little weapons are stored and whatnot. See, the Gatling gun comes out of this little slot here. Okay, so we have bottom scopes, which come out under here. Um, the side scopes, everything. Okay, so anyway, that's what that's about. But each one of these layers are very important because I can then single a piece of it out. Say I wanted to just work with the side scopes here. I could select them easily, highlight them all, animate whatever I'm going to do with them. And each one of these come with their own animation already built in. You've seen them in past videos. So I could just select them like this, make sure I can grab everything, and then work with it again. So back to the skeleton. Where I usually start in my animations is where are we at on time? All right, that didn't work.